Hey ladies, thanks for being here today. We are going to talk cardio and the best kind of cardio to do if you are a woman over the age of 40. This really applies if you're 35 and older, but once you hit 40, 45, shiz changes and we have to change. And this is the best kind of cardio to start doing as you're entering midlife and beyond. So is it your boot camp classes? Is it going for a long run, a bike ride? Is it doing box squats? I don't know, but we're going to get into it. No, I do know, but we're going to get into it. I'm going to explain what are the best kinds to do. I'm going to show you a full workout, how I structured it, give you modifications for it, something that you could try at home or the gym, and start trying to incorporate some of these cardio exercises into your regimen. Okay, ladies, my name is Cynthia Williams. I'm an integrative nutrition practitioner. I specialize in working with women 35 and older. I have been in this industry for over 20 years. So I have tried all the fad exercises, all the fad diets. I have gone through it all. And over time, those didn't work, especially as I aged. And I started really educating myself, digging deeper than what like my certification offers, and getting into more in-depth information, especially when I came to having my own struggles with hormones and weight gain and just feeling like hell and not getting the answers that I needed. The answers, that were being told to me was eat less and move more. And here I am, a fitness trainer and nutritionist who was eating less and working out more, and it still wasn't working. I'm going to explain what the difference is between true HIIT training and SIT training, which is sprint interval training, or the classes that you might be taking at like a local Orange Theory or some kind of boot camp style class, CrossFit style class. And I'm going to explain the difference between what a true HIIT workout looks like, why women over the age of 40 should focus on this style of training, and the benefits of it to see composition changes, improvements in metabolic, cardiovascular health, all the benefits that come along with doing this style of training, as well as how to set this style of training up. One of the biggest complaints women over the age of 40, or clients that I work with, which are women typically over the age of 40, is the belly fat gains that they get. They will commonly say, I'm not changing the food that I'm eating, I'm not changing my exercise, like nothing is changing, but yet I continue to put on this belly fat or see these composition changes that I don't like. I have clients say, I've never had to worry about eating, how much I've ate my entire life. I've never had to focus on that. I've always been thin. And then bam, in like the last 6 months, I've put on 10 pounds and I can't figure it out. So this is what we're going to talk about today, and how to structure the exercise that you need to be doing as a woman over 40. We're going to speak specifically to HIIT training, but we know that it needs to be resistance training. We need some SIT training, and we need some HIIT training in there. It is not working out more. Stop doing long bouts of cardio. Stop running more miles thinking that if I just run an extra mile this week, that's going to help with the fat reduction or change or help me lose weight or whatever your health goals may be. It's not going to happen. You've got to switch over your mindset and be open to looking at new routes and forms of exercise to see the composition changes, not only to help you lose weight, but more importantly, sustain the weight loss. HIIT training, high interval intensity training. So this is training that is done in spurts that are 1 minute or less with variable rest rates. And this means that you're working at the high intensity interval training. You are working sub max, meaning you're a little bit underneath your max potential, so about that 80-85% range. If you're looking on an RPE scale, which is a rate of perceived exertion, it's 1 through 10. I'll put one up right here. You want to be somewhere in that 7-8 mark. And the goal here is to be in that mark, take a nice rest break so that the next round that you start, you can continue to hit at that same exertion level. These are not meant to be long, extended, drawn out workouts. The goal here is to be intense and to be diligent in the work that you're doing. So I like to work like a 1-to-1 ratio. I will work for 30 seconds and take a 30-second rest break. I'll do it, for 40 minutes, which meaning that I'm actually only working half of that time. So if I'm doing a 1-to-1 ratio workout, 30 seconds of work to a 30-second rest period, and I have 30 rounds, that means I'm actually only working for 15 minutes. So those 15 minutes need to be short, they need to be sharp, they need to be intense when I am doing the work. Benefits for women over the age, well, any age, but especially over the age of 40, because these are the things that become a high concern or we become at risk for, is cardiovascular, metabolic health and disease, right? Osteoporosis and cancer. These are things that become high risk for women going through peri, post, and especially, menopause and post-menopause, as we have that decline of estrogen on communication to almost all the tissues in a female's body. So working HIIT training in this format, this short, sharp, sub-max level, can help with better glucose control. It can help stimulate the increase of what is called BDNF, which is brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is what helps us to think and have better cognitive control. You may notice one of the things that comes when you start having these hormonal fluctuations is brain fog, or you can't find the words that you're looking for, which may be simple words like green tree, and for some reason you can't get green tree out. You are forgetting things. You walk into a room over and over again. Why did I walk in this room? Or where did I put my keys? And yes, we all have some of that at some points throughout our life, but you notice it's more frequent as you start aging and going through this period of time, it happening more times than what you're comfortable with or what you like. The next benefit is improved vascular health. As a woman going through peri and postmenopause, estrogen helps with keeping our arteries and our veins pliable and flexible and able to withstand impact, basically, is the easiest way to say that. As we have the decline of estrogen, those cardiovascular symptoms, or the veins and the arteries, start to thicken and harden. HIIT interval training is one of the ways to help keep our arterial walls flexible and pliable, which is huge for maintaining cardiac health. This is the big one. This is the big one for HIIT interval and sprint interval training, the reduction of visceral fat. Visceral fat is the fat that forms in and outside of our organs, and this is like the big component that puts us at increased risk for metabolic health, can contribute to cardiovascular health, cancers, all of those kind of things, is this visceral organ fat buildup that we get, again, due to declining estrogen. HIIT training has been shown to reduce visceral fat. HIIT training has been shown to reduce visceral fat, and we need that stimulus, right? Because again, that's probably the biggest complaint of most women, is the belly fat acclimation or accrual that we get as we're going through this period. You'll notice that maybe when you're younger you had more fat stored in your hips and your thighs, and as you're aging it's starting to go to that belly. A lot of that becomes that visceral fat, which is that dangerous fat. What is the difference between HIIT training and SIT training, sprint interval training? So if you remember from earlier, I said the HIIT training, we are working at an RPE of around 8. 80% we're sub-max. We are not all geared out. Sprint training, we are 110%. We are absolutely geared out. We are supra-max, meaning we are working over that limit. If you're looking here at this scale of 1 to 10 on the RPE, we are 10, baby. We are maxed out. The difference also is the length of period that we're working. If you are supra max, working at your all-time ultimate, as hard as you can go, you can only hold that for very short periods of time. So sprint training is no more than 30 seconds with, again, variable rest rates. And these rest breaks tend to be much longer because, again, we're working at that supra max level. We need a longer rest break in order for us to, in the next round when we work, be able to hit that level again. So this rest break might be anywhere from 90 seconds to 3 minutes, depending upon what you need to get your heart rate down into a range where you feel comfortable pushing at that same level again. These are all the benefits of why we want to run HIIT training. So now I'm going to show you a HIIT workout, one that I do regularly at the gym. You can feel free to switch out these exercises with anything that you like, that works for you. Again, it comes down to the work rate and how we structure these workouts to maximize the benefits from them and to see change in our composition. This first workout, I did 6 rounds of 5 exercises. And again, I worked it in that 1-to-1 ratio. So I did 30 seconds of work with a 30-second rest period. You're gonna wanna get a timer of some sort. I love Seconds Pro. I'll show you an example of what it looks right here. It's an app that you can get where you can create a multitude of timers. And you're gonna wanna set a timer for 1-minute rounds. And 1-minute rounds where you're doing 30 seconds of work with a 30-second rest break. So I will pick a weight for these exercises that is challenging, but allows me to complete the reps in that 30 seconds because I want that full 30-second rest break, which those rest breaks go super fast. The work periods seem to go slow and the rest go very, very fast. So after you've completed a proper warm-up, do not go into this cold. Do some mobility work, get yourself stretched out, get that heart rate elevated, get your joints loose, get your body temperature up, then start working. So, okay, my 5 rounds. My first round was a squat thruster. As you can see here, I picked a challenging weight, one that definitely felt my core fire as I was driving out of the squat, but it was a weight that I was able to complete 10 to 12 reps during that 30-second period. Then I took my 30-second rest and we move on to movement 2. Movement 2 is a renegade or plank row. The goal with this is to stay tight, not to let the hips rotate, and pick up a weight that you can get full range of motion, meaning getting that weight all the way up to your hip when you pull it from the floor. Now, using a weight at first might be too much, and you just do tall plank and you just work on lifting your hands off the ground. There are modifications for every exercise that you can do, so no matter what your fitness level is, you can work hard at that fitness level. Seconds, I will have this whole workout listed in the description box below so you can see what the movements are, the reps that you want to shoot for during that 30-second work period, and how to set this up. Movement 3 was a reverse lunge with a bicep curl. So doing this on the floor just was not getting my heart rate up as much as I wanted to. So I added in the step to give me a decline stepping back off of. You can absolutely keep this to the floor, but I was just looking for that elevated heart rate and to push myself a little bit harder in that 30 seconds. As you can see here with my heart rate, this is my heart rate during that time. I'm working really hard to stay in the yellow on my heart rate monitor in that 80%. And so I either had to change the exercise to drive my heart rate up or change it to bring my heart rate down because I did not want to be pushing in the red very much during this workout. Movement 4 is a reverse fly. And this one, by the time I got to movement 4, it was really hard. And I was having to lighten my weight up to maintain proper form and to hit my reps in that 30 seconds. I was pretty gassed by the time I got to this movement each round for some reason. Maybe as the lunges, pushed me over, I don't know. But this was really hard for me, but you can always change this to like a lateral raise or some other movement, a laying down, lat pullover, some other upper back movement that works for you, but you definitely want it to be challenging and you want to shoot for your reps during that time. Last but not least are bird dogs. These look so easy, but these are so hard if you are doing them correctly. You want a challenging weight, one that you can hold good form when you're in this bird dog position, but one that is challenging and that you have to fire the core and the pelvis hard to stabilize in order to alternate the hand-foot release to complete the bird dog movement. The goal with these exercises is I am not picking weights on any of these movements that are going to build strength. They are not challenging enough to build strength. And the reason for that is because I'm working for time here. My whole goal here is to push my heart rate into an uncomfortable place of 80% and be able to get there and work hard for those 30 seconds and then take my 30-second rest break. There is no way I am able to push heavy enough weight to stimulate strength gains during this period due to the time restraint and that I'm working in 30 seconds. It's just, there's, training for strength, which we absolutely need to be doing 3 days a week. And then there's doing the HIIT training. My goal with the HIIT training is not muscle building. My goal completely with this HIIT training is the things that I've talked about previously in this video: the heart health, the metabolic health, the glucose control, the brain drive, neurotropic factor, all of those types of feedback that I get from performing this type of exercise is my goal with this. So just understanding that if you're wanting to build strength and build lean muscle tissue and help to reduce all over body subcutaneous fat, you're gonna have to put strength training in. The HIIT training is excellent. We have to have some cardiovascular health as well, but strength training is where we're gonna get those muscle gains. So your ideal weightlifting or workout schedule in a week would be 3 strength training sessions, 1 upper body, 1 lower body, and 1 full body, so that we're touching all the muscle groups twice in 1 week. And then ideally we're getting 1 HIIT session and 1 sit session per week for our cardiovascular and overall metabolic health. Hopefully this provided some clarification as to what a HIIT exercise or a HIIT workout is versus your boot camp style classes versus a sit type workout, if I could speak, versus a, strength training exercise program as well. We have to do a little bit of all of it, and then we just have to have purpose behind why we're doing it. When we're over the age of 40, there definitely has to be more structure and more why to the things that we're doing in order to maintain our health, to lose some weight, to hit some health goals, whatever your goals may be. But we can't just like when we did in our 20s and just like, I'm just going to work out today, willy-nilly, whatever. Now we do have to have a regimen of sorts, and you have to have a plan to maintain optimal health. So thanks for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next video.